tanke. Rosja, blitzer atmos, Oscar, OBSM. Shooter, color, tuschig, cheeky, freaky, iftanke. Rosja, blitzer atmos, Oscar, OBSM. Shooter, color, tuschig, cheeky, freaky, iftanke. Rosja, blitzer atmos, Oscar, OBSM. Shooter, color, tuschig, cheeky, freaky, iftanke. Rosja, blitzer atmos, Oscar, OBSM. Rosja, blitzer atmos, Rosja, blitzer atmos, Rosja, blitzer atmos, Oscar, OBSM. Rosja, blitzer atmos, Rosja, blitzer atmos, Rosja, blitzer atmos, Oscar, OBSM.
So, commander build for the Vladivostok. I prefer Kedrov, as he is, in this case for the Russians, they're just simply the better commander. Main battery diverse speed for his base trait, always useful. Not one for the nuisance, as your range is already pretty bad for the Russians. Crisscross, because the secondaries on a Vladivostok are particularly long reload, and they're not that effective. See that? 8-second reload, 3.8 second reload, and those are 100mm guns. Not ideal. So Crisscross is the help deterrent of the turrets. Volunteer if you have Kedrov leveled up. If you do not, then Collective Labour is also a good choice. And you have to want more damage controls, you know, with this current meta of the HE spam, which will always be a meta. Master Mechanic for the additional heals, and Will to rebuild for the cheese. Andrew Cunningham for better dispersion, and Reynard Shear for reduction of fire chance. Fire is probably the biggest killer of the Vladivostok besides pure positioning. So yeah, definitely worth sticking into reducing your fire chance. So I will head into match. So here we are in Greece. Now let's see what the Vladivostok strengths. The bow armor on the Vladivostok is beautiful. You are incredibly tanky when bow tanking in this boat. Angling again, you'll do very well. One of the biggest issues of the Vladivostok is its side armor. When you are giving broadside, it is incredibly easy to citadel. Even some cruisers can comfortably citadel the Vladivostok. So you need to be very careful about giving broadside. That's the biggest killer of this thing, is pure positioning. But if you get the right position in Vladivostok, I'm honestly happy to say you're nigh unkillable. Literally unkillable, because the only way you're going to burn to death is by fire. The only way you're going to die is by fire. There's no ship in the game besides Yamato who can overmatch your nose. And if you angle the Yamato, if you angle the Vladivostok, you can even negate that as well. So Vladivostok's got extremely good armor, particularly when angled and particularly when bow on. Now, guns. You may have seen that Odin there. It's an Odin very strongly armoured boat as well. The guns behave when they're closer. They do not behave very well when they're further away. You don't want to be sniping in this boat. You want to be getting in there. I'm not saying you want to be going full on brawl, because you don't have that turtleback armor scheme. You're not like an Odin or Bismarck or a Tirpitz or Scharnhorst or no, you know, you're not German. You don't have that turtleback armor scheme, which makes you almost immune to citadels at closer ranges. But you have that very good armor scheme. and you have 16-inch guns as well. So very strong brawler, but it's a medium range brawler. Just chunking the Nagato there because the bow is accurate, even at reasonable ranges. I'm at reasonable range from that Nagato. The gun really starts performing. I've seen Odin here. I take the shot because further away the Odin is, the more vulnerable he is to being citadeled. So I'm always in a vain hope for that. Nothing really good though, because the guns don't behave at range, as you've seen. Nagato though, pretty darn close in terms of battleship standards, like 13 kilometers. See the angled armor scheme working out there? I've barely taken any damage at all. I bounced shells off the Odin and the Nagato kind of hoped to pay me very much, either even with his 16-inch guns. So, backing up a little bit, try and find the right position. All about getting the right position is what I was talking. Get the right position, you will do extremely well. So, yeah, at the minute, I'm being spotted by the Nagato. Just turning my gun to see what's going on, assessing the situation, seeing where I need to do. Now, Vladivostok also kind of a stealthy boat as well. It helps you get in closer, so I'm no need to fire just yet. In this case, it's a Nagato. That's 25mm everywhere, so 16-inch guns tear it apart. And 15 kilometers, not that far. It's not that close, but it's close enough. 4 shells hit. It's not bad at all. Maybe I can finish off this Cleveland. Oh, okay. I do need to angle against the Cleveland because he's not going to be shooting AP, unlikely at least. I do need to angle against the Nagato and this Odin. So I'm taking a little bit of bird damage. You see, this is the only damage I've really taken from the EOP. The EOP Cleveland, which can play in everything, but some of my armor is 50mm, so we'll see. Another good smacking from the Nagato. It's a very squishy target. It really needs a buff right now. It needs to be restored to its former self, in my opinion. But moving on from that, I'm just getting the right position going. I want to push here, but I want to be careful about it because there is a battleship to my right. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is though, I wish I'd controlled my camera right now. So fire the next shot at Nagato because it's always worth shooting them because they are very squishy, as I mentioned before. Unfortunately, too far away, so the gun does not behave. So I need to think of a good plan here. How can I get closer without endangering my ship to be open up for crossfire or just absolutely destroyed? So, wonder what was going on with his Odin. That's a Roma, I believe. I think I risked the shot here. I'm not sure. No, I don't. Okay. If I can get rid of this Odin, then I can push this gate area here. There's a destroyer on my right here. See that? So it's just thinking about your positioning. Usually, is what wins you the games in Vladivostok. You get the right position. You can hold back the incoming tide of the team. You can tank. You can honestly do anything you want. You can take down almost any battleship in the game as well if you do it right. Go for the superstructure of the Odin. Yeah, a decent salvo on him. Unfortunately, I don't want to push because there's another Odin. That's what it was. Wasn't it, Roma? Another Odin and a destroyer on that side. So I'm really hesitant to push too much. Just checking to see if the roster hits Benson. So my goal right now is just to get rid of the Odin. It's a little bit of a slow game, but I've already racked up 64,000. It's actually not that bad considering my position has not been that great, but I've had a chance where I'm protected from being crossfired by this island, and I've got free shots to take on whatever has been sailing past me, which so far has been the Nagato and the Odin. So, using this to my advantage, you can see I've taken barely any damage at all, and I've dished out quite a bit, nearly my own health pool so far. That's the whole thing about this thing. You do not take any AP damage if you're playing the ship correctly. It's very unlikely. Your superstructure is very minute, and you just struggle to take it. You'll struggle to take any sizable damage unless you're giving broadside, or just showing too much. Now, I'm going for the risking it for the biscuit here. This Odin could very easily torp me, but even at close range, the Odin is going to struggle to do tangible damage to me if I angle correctly. So I'm hoping he's going to come. There he is. He angled. I didn't show enough angle for him to actually pen me, which is nice. Something shooting my secondaries. I can't actually see it there, so that's a bit of a worry there. Might be the destroyer. So, reversing up, trying to avoid being torqued by him. His guns are not facing me, so I can give him a little bit more broadside. I'm paying attention to his guns. Seeing if I can disable them, maybe? Nope. Okay, good. Don't worry about it. He's already been killed. There's the torpedoes coming in from the destroyer. This boat's quick as well, 30 knots as well, so it's not that slow at all. It's actually relatively quick in terms of battleship standards. More shots at the Nagato, definitely worth taking them, because as Nagato, the damage you can deal is pretty significant, as you can see. So, that Nagato should be dead. Well, actually, no. He is at range for me. Max range. Oh, I hit him for an overpen, didn't kill him. No, okay, there we go. Wouldn't finish him off. So, I need to think about this. Benson here. Okay. For low health, I can probably 1 or 2 shot him. I think it's definitely worth the risk. If I can push in, I can take over B cap, and I can get rid of this stalemate we're kind of in. They're down the ship, they're up on points. Well, we're even on ships, but they're up on points, they've got 2 caps. So, if it goes on like this, we're not going to win. So, my goal right now is to rush the Benson. Not always a good idea, because torpedoes are probably the Vladivostok's biggest weakness, besides fire. But, if you do this right, you can really pull off some crazy maneuvers here. Ooh, deck citadel. Benson's making his move, because he's seen me fire. Let's see how many I can dodge out of this. Probably gonna take 1, 2, 3, oh goodness. But it was worth it, because the back gun was ready for him, and the back gun at this range is honestly a laser. So, in terms of accurate gunfire, plenty. So, damages gunter, and Vanguard finishes them off, that's good. You may have seen, I've already got 114,000. I've very stationary this game, but I've just took advantage of my positioning, and pushed when needed, and then fell back when needed. Just simply using positioning. That is the biggest thing I would say about the Vladivostok. The guns really behave when you're close. You don't get too close, because you don't have the turtleback armor scheme. If someone catches your broadside, they can potentially dead strike you, or massively damage you with the citadels it can cause. But if you're going bow on, this has been I've been attacked by a lot of ships, and I've taken a bunch of torpedoes, and that's the torpedoes is the only damage I've really taken. I've taken like 20k from being shelled at for the majority of the game by an Odin and a Nagato. You know, it's just not been that much. Most of the damage is from the torpedoes, which sometimes, you know, you can just have to nitty and gritty and take it. It comes with brawling battleships. Now he can't hit me because of my positioning, because of the island cover there. I can cap this in peace. There's no more destroyers. Just checking what seas left. Got Attigo, and Odin, another one. This is a prime example here, because I wanted to feature this one because there's so many Odins, and Odins are the better brawler, but if you position the Odin, you can do so much more. Plus your guns are much more accurate than anything. They're also much bigger than anything. Vanguard here, you got a good salvo on me, I think. There we go, that's the difference. You lose so much health if you get broadside. That was my mistake for the day. Luckily, he was not lucky in RNG. For me, he didn't do that much damage, but he did enough damage to be concerned about. So, angling up, you shouldn't be able to do that same thing again, because I'm angled now, and the Vanguard will have to switch to high explosive. Fortunately though, I've not been spamming with too much high explosive today. It's not a very HE focused game this is. And I've still got 3 damage controls left, so if the Vanguard's switching to HE, he's not going to last very long. It's not going to burn very long. So just waiting for them, getting the cap done. Cap's complete. Vanguard has appeared. He's angled a little bit, but there you go, he switched to HE. That was a good pick on his part. Didn't do that much to him here, he actually did a good job angling there. I'm going to wait for his next salvo. Well, if he has the next salvo. And then burn my damage control, because if I let a single fire burn, I'm probably going to die. Okay, he gets taken out, so I can burn my damage control, because the Odin is shooting at P, and the Vanguard was the biggest HQ threat. There's also there's an Adigo as well, but he's not in the fight. He's over there for me. The Odin give me broadside, not a good idea. I am just simply reversing, while bow tanking, and he's not going to do anything to me. We just chimp damage, if anything, you know. My superstructure is already black. I doubt he's going to do much to me. I had to go take a wee pot shot with my rear turret because I won't be using anything else. The Odin is using the island cover at the minute. Just going to push, see what's going on. I'm just going to see what's going on. Reverse a little more. I don't want the Odin to have the chance to get a top of me, because one top and I'm probably going to die. Now, I have the plane consumable for this as well, because I don't feel you need the spotter blood. And the secondaries are not great, so you might as well have your better chance to reduce the torpedoes you take. So Catapult Fighter is probably the best choice actually for the Blood of Vostok. One of the rare features where none of the new consumables are ideal for this boat, I would think. The ability to dodge torpedoes and see them more effectively than slash destroyers is much more valuable than the Blood of Vostok. So yeah, just thinking about here, because I want to get this Odin dealt with, so I'm going to give him the rear gun turret. At this angle, I don't think he's actually going to do much damage to me either, because he is an Odin, and I have a very good armor scheme. So, there he is. Fire my full gun turrets, angle up a little more just to be safe. He is shooting HE, I have a damage control left. Of course he sets the fire. I'm going to burn the damage control again, because there's only 1 minute left in the game. If I die, I'm probably going to die. If not, we'll have to see. Plus, there is an enemy, a friendly ship nearby, who I ended up running into him by, unfortunately. If I get set on fire again, I've got will to rebuild, so I can repair that. That'll arrow and chunks them. I do 2 overpens on them, unfortunately. But yeah. So that was the Odin dealt with. It may not seem like much of a game, but I've done 146,000 just by using my positioning, and I've been dealing with ships that are supposedly the better brawler than I am. I didn't really get into much situation to brawl, but I didn't really snipe either. Just a medium ranged flank supporter, just to tank the damage and take the hits and deal just the damage as well. So as you can see, that's my opinion on how you play the Vostok. I hope this helps you guys out, and I'll catch you next time.